Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to provide brief remarks about imprisonment and prisoner reentry in Louisiana. I wish I could be there personally, but my responsibilities during the legislative session require me to be at the Capitol this week. My thanks to the Reentry Alliance of Louisiana for sponsoring the statewide Prisoner Reentry Conference, and a special thanks to my friends at Northern Louisiana Goodwill for organizing this conference with great vigor. You know the numbers, but they're worth repeating. Louisiana has the highest per capita incarceration rate in the nation, with 816 per 100,000 compared to 471 per 100,000 nationally. 1 in 26 adults is under correctional control, compared to 1 in 31 across the nation. Louisiana's incarceration rate has increased 272% since 1982 and currently has over 36,000 state prisoners. Over half of those incarcerated are serving their sentences in local parish jails, for which the state is paying over $172 million per year to house. There are 105 jail facilities in the state's 64 parishes, with a total rated capacity of 45,813 beds, and nearly 40% of these local beds are filled with state prisoners. The 5-year recidivism rate for offenders discharging from parish jails is higher than those released from state prison facilities. This approach cannot be sustained. I am on record supporting broad criminal justice reforms in the Louisiana criminal justice system in order to relieve the taxpayers of the burden of a system that can and must do better. We know that what we are doing now is not working, and I expect the state to improve its laws, its policies, its practices, its procedures, and its programs to improve our justice system outcomes, especially around prisoner reentry. I am convinced that Louisiana's incarceration rate, the highest in the nation, is not a result of our citizens being more prone to criminality than those of other states, but as a result of our sentencing laws and our corrections policies and our failure to invest adequately in our sheriff's jails to make sure that more opportunity is provided for their prisoners. While I am pleased with the progress made in our corrections system by the Secretary of Public Safety and Corrections, Jimmy LeBlanc, he and I agree that we can do more. This is why I endorse and fully support the Louisiana Prisoner Reentry Initiative that you will be learning more about in the next couple of days. The Louisiana Prisoner Reentry Initiative is based on national and state successes that reduce crime by former prisoners, reduce violations, returns to prison, and victimization. This state and local partnership for prisoner reentry reform supports services such as housing and employment, as well as other evidence-based approaches to assure that a clearly articulated, policy-driven, data-informed framework is in place. It provides the infrastructure to support state agencies, community leaders, the faith-based community, law enforcement, employers, nonprofit service providers, and advocates as Louisiana works to end its reign as the most incarcerated jurisdiction in the world. The goal of the Louisiana Prisoner Reentry Initiative is to cut the recidivism rate by 50% for higher risk returning prisoners, beginning with the parishes that contribute the highest number of prisoners to the system. Objectives of the initiative include providing a collaborative process to gain support with the state's justice leaders, business leaders, local and state government officials, community human service providers, justice and victim advocates, families of the incarcerated, and law enforcement. Providing access and experimental research evaluations to show impact. Working with communities to demonstrate reduced recidivism through improved case planning and case management, built on actuarial risk need assessments, good data, enhanced human service delivery, and comprehensive planning. Creating transitional and permanent jobs by working with Louisiana's business community, building affordable housing opportunities linked to employment, creating and adapting DPSC policy procedure in order to ensure sustainability. The vision of this initiative is simple and straightforward. Every single prisoner returning to their community will have the tools and resources needed for success. The Louisiana Prisoner Reentry Initiative will show that expanded pre- and post-release reentry services under this improved case planning and management framework can cut the return to prison recidivism rate for targeted offenders For every 10% reduction in recidivism in the state's 12 largest parishes, the state will save over $3 million. A 50% rate reduction will save over $15 million. The amount of investment required to achieve these savings will be determined in each community as the need for specific additional services is assessed. It has been proven in other states that prisoner reentry creates better citizens, safer communities, and fewer victims of crime while saving taxpayer dollars so that they can be used for more productive endeavors. Without improved data systems to record and communicate prisoners' risk levels and needs to community reentry stakeholders, local comprehensive planning for reentry and the expansion of employment and housing opportunities is simply impossible. Further, until a community-by-community analysis of employment and housing needs for high-risk and high-need prisoners is possible, Louisiana will be in the dark about how the lack of these statewide resources affects crime and victims. In closing, I want to thank all of the partners working on the Louisiana Prison Reentry Initiative with the Department of Public Safety and Corrections. This includes the Board of Parole, the Louisiana Workforce Commission, the Louisiana Housing Authority, the Louisiana Community and Technical College System, the Louisiana Sheriff's Association, the Louisiana Association of District Attorneys, the Louisiana Commission on Law Enforcement, the Center for Justice Innovation, the Louisiana Business Community, the Louisiana Philanthropic Community, and you, the parishes throughout the state which have formed reentry coalitions, and local reentry implementation teams that focus on improved case planning and management. Thank you all for your support of improving Louisiana's reentry efforts. I look forward to your continued partnership as we put Louisiana first.